Hi, friends. I'm Jessie. If we haven't met before, I use they, them pronouns, and I am here to share a gentle, quick, stretchy yoga practice for us. Um, all you need is like maybe a blanket for or a towel for under your head or knees, a couple of yoga blocks if you have them, or if you've got like a chair you could use to support yourself, or a couple of big books. You might want those at some point. And I'm using a bolster, a big yoga pillow. But if you've got some couch cushions or a meditation cushion or something else like that, just grab whatever you need. We're going to start on our backs. Apparently, something I needed today was iced coffee. So make sure you get that if you want it. I always like to put something under my head when I lay on the floor. I guess you could call that a personal preference, but I just think it's legit more comfortable. So find your way down onto the ground. We're going to bring our knees together and then walk our feet out side to side until it's comfortable to let your legs rest on one another. You can bring your hands on your belly or on the ground alongside you, wherever is most comfortable. I like to make sure that like my props are out of the way so I don't feel psychically encroached upon by them. And then take a couple of big exhales, intentional breath out. A couple more just like that. Last time, deep breath in. Try to hold the breath in at the top for a moment. Just feel yourself totally full of air. And exhale big. Notice the natural rhythm of your breath. And stay tuned into that if it's helpful during our practice today. Something I find incredibly helpful to bring my awareness and attention to when I'm breathing in my yoga practice is bringing awareness to the very top of your inhale. So that place like where we just held the breath in. Every breath has a natural pause right at the top of the inhale. So noticing that pause, and then at the bottom of the breath out, at a big exhale, right at the bottom, there's that little moment before an inhale resumes. So just take a couple moments here to notice those places of pause in the dynamic dance of your breath. Our breath brings expansion. It brings contraction. It brings movement. It offers stillness. And your breath is always here and now. So one of the things that I think makes something yoga is if it's practical, if it helps you connect to things as they really are, to yourself in the moment you're in. And noticing your breath, not even like necessarily doing a breath technique or pranayama, but just bringing awareness to your breath is so straightforward and effective because your breath is always happening in the moment you're in. So just take a few more rounds of breath here on the ground. If that was helpful, you can keep going, or you can let it go and do something else altogether. I'll remind you as we move to just bring your awareness to that place in your breath. So we'll stay with that as we start to move things around. Bring your knees up into your chest. You can hold in front of your shins or behind your thighs. Rock around, make little circles or figure eights on your low back and sacrum. You can move your legs independently of one another just to notice how your pelvis is not fixed. the two halves of your ilium, of the bowl of your pelvis, can kind of move on their own a little bit when we move with them. From here, we're going to bring our right knee into our chest. Let the left leg come down on the ground. Your leg could be straight or your knee could be bent. We're going to hold behind our right thigh and straighten the right leg just as much as we need to feel a stretch down the entire back of your left leg. So we don't want it to be localized only like behind the knee or at your tushy. We want to feel it, in the middle of your thigh, up into your calf. And something we can do to kind of play around with that is to bring some engagement to the leg. So push your thigh forward into your hands as you stretch your heel up towards the ceiling. Feel free to, flutter your lips or sigh out big. Maybe just keep your awareness coming to that place of pause between inhale and exhale. One more deep, full round of breath. Release your right leg to the mat. Take a moment to notice what's happening in your body, what you can sense in your legs or in your, in your breath. When you're ready, bring your left knee into your chest. So you can hold, this mat is there we go. It's from Aldi. They're on sale. Go get one. I don't work for Aldi. I don't work for anyone. Hold behind your legs, straighten your heel up towards the ceiling. No, for real though, good yoga mats are hard to find. Good yoga mats tend to be expensive. And you can practice yoga wearing a paper bag, but the mat you're using makes a big difference, I think. And these Aldi mats were originally only 25 bucks. And when I went yesterday, they were on sale for $7.50, which is too cheap, but also I got one and I like it, but it's all curled up on the bottom. Anyways, we're stretching our left leg. Take a few more breaths. Hopefully you were hugging in and stretching out as I was yapping about deals. And then from here, release your left leg all the way back down to the mat. Take a few rounds of breath to feel your body heavy on the floor. We're going to rock forwards and backwards to come all the way up to our hands and knees, or if you wanted to rock to the side to come up. We're going to cushion our kneecaps with our blanket or towel, if your yoga mat. This one's pretty cushy actually, but I always like the blanket under my head. I'm kind of always a blanket under the knee person as well. We're going to sit up with our shoulders over our wrists, tabletop spine, and move yourself around here. So like we did with our pelvis, now we're moving into our wrists and shoulders. That can turn into some more organic kind of cat and cow movements if you like. And then let the cat and cow go. We're going to step the right foot back behind us on the mat with your toes tucked under. Stretch your heel away from your head. Push into the knuckles of your fingers. Try to grip the mat. And breathe deep. Stretch your heel. Stretch your calf. Bring your awareness down your leg. We're coming into a side stretch here. So swing your left foot off your mat to the left like a kickstand. Lower your right foot to the floor, flatten your foot on the ground, and reach your right arm up and overhead. We're going to move the right arm a little bit, so make some circles or open and close it. Oh. Keep pushing into the pinky edge of your back foot. One more big breath. And then both hand and knee find the floor. We'll do the second side. So step your left foot back behind you, toes tucked under. Stretch your heel away from your head. Breathe deep. When I'm in this shape, I kind of like to round my back a little because I feel like it helps put weight in the back foot. You try that if you want. And then over to the other side, swing your right foot off the mat like a kickstand. Spin your left heel to the floor and move your left arm around. Feel into your side body, your shoulder. And then bring your hand and knee back to the mat. Come up to what I like to call your tall knees. So shoulders over hips, over knees. And step I'm still wearing socks. I don't know, some people like to do yoga in socks. I like to do some yoga in socks, and other yoga, I like the bare feet. Again, I think the mat makes a difference in that. Like if the mat's nice and grippy, the bare feet feel good. All right, Anjaneyasana. Step your right foot forward so that your knee is about over your ankle. Back heel over the ball of your back foot. We're going to move in and out of the lunge a little bit here. We don't want to bounce necessarily, but just explore how your thigh bones are moving in your pelvis in this position. Pick a place to stay and reach your arms up over your head. Armpits open, biceps move back alongside your ears. Try to tuck your chin a little bit. One more big deep breath. And then both hands come down around your front leg. If you want to grab blocks, or again, if you have the seat of a chair in front of you, we're coming into pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. So tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, straighten both legs, and forward fold. You could either keep your stance long or step your back foot in a little, but wherever you are, see if you can bring your right front hip back and your left outer hip forward. Make this a little bit of a twist. Try to bring your torso over your right thigh and fold deep. Again, if you've got the chair, you could hold the seat or even walk your hands down the legs. And then rebend your right knee, lower the back knee to the floor, and switch sides. So we'll come up to our tall knees, step the left foot forward. Back toes could be tucked or flat, your preference. And then move around a little bit in this lunge, just like you were shining a flashlight inside your hips. You're just seeing what kind of cobwebs, what kind of crepitus has snuck in. And then find a place to sit deep. Reach your arms up as you push down through your front foot and your back shin. Big full breath. Bring your hands down to the blocks or the floor. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And fold. So it'll be really easy for your pelvis to turn to the right to kind of open the back hip and tuck the left hip under. See if you can do the exact opposite of that. Bring your back right hip forward. Reach your left outer hip crease back behind you and try to bring your torso more over your left front thigh. Just to see, what's that like? Not because it's like the best way or the only way. But just as we continue to shine a flashlight around the body, like what do we notice in this corner? Lift your chest and shoulders back up. We're going to bend into the front knee. If you've got the seat of the chair or the blocks, hang on to them. Step your right foot forward and forward fold at the front of your mat. Pick a standing forward fold where you can let your upper back and head hang a little bit. Take a deep breath in, halfway lift. Big breath out, forward fold. Bring your hands on either side of your pelvis. Hug your shoulder blades together. Stand up tall. Bring your hands alongside your body. I'll move my blanket. Come into Tadasana, mountain pose. So in Tadasana, we're not just standing. We are trying to engage with like the type of dynamic tension that we had going in our hamstring stretch while we're quote unquote just standing. So see if you can push down into all four corners of both feet. Imagine like you were drawing energy from the ground up into your legs. Try to engage your calves like you were hugging them onto your shin bones. Yeah, and you might notice there's like a chain reaction, maybe up into your thighs and legs. Keep pushing back down into your feet. Nice job. If you're shaking a little, like I am too, you're doing a good job with that. Draw your low belly in and up. Enliven your arms. So imagine like there were tiny little laser pointers coming out of your fingers. And then reach up through the crown of your head. Push back down through your spinal muscles. See if you can lift up through your back a little taller. One more deep breath. And then release. Nice job. Come all the way down. Actually, grab your blanket or towel. We're going to roll it up and do a couple things with it. And we are close to laying down, so have no fear. We're going to take the blanket and open it up to a pretty large rectangle and roll it up along the long folded edge. So if you're using a towel or like a different, you don't have like one of these types of like Mexican blankets, like you might need to adjust how much or how little of the blanket you need or how to fold it and roll it. Once you see what you're doing, you can adjust as necessary. All right, so what we're going to do is you're going to take your blanket up towards the front of your mat. You're going to have your blocks or your chair or a wall at the ready. We are going to step on the blanket with our heels on the mat and the toes elevated on the blanket. And the first thing we're going to do is make muffins like a cat. So you're going to kind of squeeze the blanket with your feet. From here, push down into the blanket, widen your inner thighs back. And forward fold. It's going to feel more intense to bring your weight forward into the balls of your feet. So that's kind of how you can play around with how much of this you get. The more I shift my weight forward, the more I'm pushing down into the feet. From here, you're going to bring your hands, maybe with the chair or the block, a little closer to the blanket and step your left foot back behind you. So you're coming into like a version of pyramid pose with your front foot on a blanket and where you can push your hands down and forward. The chair is probably great for this right now. Try to reach your front hip back and your back hip forward. And switch sides. Step your left foot forward onto the block and your right foot back a few feet. Bring your awareness back to the place right at the top of your inhale. And then right at the bottom of your exhale. Just whatever's happening in your body, you are here experiencing it. That reminder that an ever increasing amount of awareness is the point of this practice. To know yourself as you really are in every moment. And then step your back foot forward and come off the blanket. Take a forward fold. Bring your feet a little wider side to side. Bend your elbows, grab opposite arm bone. You could rest your elbows on the chair seat or just sway your upper back. From here, we're going to calf smoosh. Smoosh our calves. So pick up your blanket. If it got a little unrolled from standing on it, that's normal. Roll it back up a little. We're going to bring the blanket or towel behind the backs of your knees. And then you're going to bend your knees to grab the blanket. Ooh. You can grab the blocks, the floor, whatever helps you get your knees to the floor. Untuck your toes, flatten the tops of your feet, and sit back for a smush. Here, I'll turn to face you. This is smart, huh? Yeah. So, one thing you can do here is just sit and try to relax around the limit of the blanket. Another thing you could do here is shift around a little side to side. So get into your different heads of your gastrocnemius or into your soleus, your long flat calf muscle. And yet another thing you could do is squeeze your hamstrings and calves together and then release. So you could kind of pulse here. And then we're going to shift forward just a little bit and give the blanket a quarter turn back towards your feet so that you can sit down again on a new spot in your calves. And again, whatever's working, whatever tool feels practical is going to help bring you closer to now. Things that feel unwieldy or distracting or just too much kind of lose their efficacy in the moment. It doesn't mean that it wouldn't be effective before, it wasn't effective before, or it wouldn't be again. But what happens when we kind of dial things in to now? When awareness is the point as opposed to outcome, kind of everything you pick can be a really deep entry point for your practice. Stay here or give it another turn towards your feet. A totally new spot. How nice. People who practice with me in my weekly classes know that when I say we're going to do something fun, quote unquote, that it's usually this level of fun. So apologies that now my internet friends are lumped into that. Come on forward. Move the blanket out of the way. Give your feet a little tippity tap, pitter pat. Option to take a downward facing dog. We are just coming down onto our backs after this, but I really like to do down dog after a calf smoosh. If you would prefer to just stretch your calves like this, like we already did today, help yourself. But if you're coming up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, tuck your toes, lift your hips. And let your spine get long here. Push down and forward with your hands. Reach up and back with your hips and heels. Maybe pedal out your knees a little. And then find your way back, hands and knees. We're going to grab this blanket. We're actually going to do two different things with it. So here we're going to need our blanket rolled up. So you just might have to redo it because we've smushed it a couple times. And it is going to go down your mat the long way. You're going to lay your spine parallel to the blanket. Then for your legs, you could bring a bolster under your knees, or you could have your blocks nearby. I'll show you in a second. See, now we're in the portion of class where I want my socks back. All right. Or if you want to cover up, if you've got a sweater, we're just getting down on the ground here at the end. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to sit on the floor, and then you're going to back the blanket up to you like a little tail. Hold on to it. Scoot your butt forward a little so that when you lie back, your spine is supported by the blanket. There should be some extra rolled blanket behind you, potentially depending on what you're using. And if you want to, you can kind of tuck and fold it under your head so that you get a little pillow. My legs are already just naturally coming into Supta Baddha Konasana with the bottoms of my feet together and my knees apart. So if you would like to rest there, you could put a block under each leg or a pillow, or something that I'm actually going to do myself is just take my bolster and slide it under my knees and thighs. So if you've got a pillow and you just want to support the backs of the legs, that can feel very relaxing. Open your arms side to side or let them rest down on your body where they're comfortable. Just come back to watching your breath. And then from here, you could stay put. We're just going to stay and rest in Shavasana for a few minutes. If you want to come off the blanket and move it to make more of a pillow under your head or lay any other way with it, help yourself. If you have time today to do a Shavasana that is longer than just a few minutes, like if you have 20 more minutes, you should turn this video off and set a timer and then do a long Shavasana. Or even if you have 10 minutes and you want to take like a nice long rest here, I think if you have the option and the interest, go for it. But otherwise, I'll just let us rest here for a minute or two. Allow the effects of our practice to sort of soak in and affect us. Give yourself a few big intentional exhales, the way we started class. Let it come all the way back out. And we'll just be here for a few minutes. And again, if you don't have to move, just stay put if you're comfortable. As you're ready, start to breathe deep. Stretch your arms overhead or bring your legs in and roll over to your right side unless the other side is better for whatever reason. The right side's the auspicious side. And just take a moment here to reacclimate. Use your hands on the floor, help yourself up. And thank you so much for practicing together today. Namaste, yogis. Hail yourselves. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And I'll see you soon.